Well, you saw Erika Kirk there speaking at her first Turning Point USA tour appearance last week. It was part of that exclusive interview she did with our Jesse Waters. Here's more from that powerful conversation.
Mikey called me, and I'll never forget him just being like, Charlie's been shot. He's been shot. Get the kids. Get security. Get the kids. Get the kids. He's been shot. We landed in Utah. Went straight to the hospital. When you walked in, everyone was just, it was a scene from just a horror movie. Everyone is so rattled to the core. I said, I want to see what they did to my husband, and I want to give him a kiss, because I didn't get to give him a kiss this morning. And I did, and I got to see him. And when we walked into that room, he still looks so alive.
Vivek Ramaswamy, Republican candidate for governor of Ohio, who also recently spoke at a Turning Point USA event at Montana State University. She went on to say, Vivek, and it's good to be with you, it's been a minute. She went on to say in that interview that when she saw Charlie Kirk, even in death, he had this smirk on his face, she described, as if to say to his assassin, you took my life, but you can't take my movement. And she is demonstrating, she's got to be dying inside every day, and yet she's demonstrating so much strength in picking up and carrying the torch for TPUSA.
No, it's a beautiful thing to watch. Charlie was obviously a very close friend of mine as well. We saw him just a couple weeks before he was assassinated, John, and his level of energy and positivity, it's what we need. They may have killed his body. They will not kill his soul or the soul of the movement that he began. And the way we respect that legacy is by continuing that open dialogue, confronting peacefully, respectfully even, the very people who disagree with us most, growing our coalition in a way that Charlie did, unlike very few others in history amongst young people in American politics. And I so admire Erika for demonstrating the strength she has through this process, giving hope to many more millions of people around the world. But we all have our role to play and our work cut out for us, and I believe we're going to make Charlie proud.
You know, it's really interesting as we go through these Turning Point USA events that have grown bigger since Charlie's assassination, that the difference that's emerging here in various factions within Gen Z. You heard that one person in Madison Scarpino's fine report saying, I'm here at Auburn in this Turning Point USA event with like-minded people. I'm with my Auburn family, and now I'm with my TPUSA family. You have a growing number of Gen Zers, young voters, gravitating toward the conservative side of the political fence. And then up in New York City, you have all these Gen Zers who were embracing socialism. What do you make of that split?
Well, what I make of it, John, is it shouldn't be that surprising. Every generation has an obvious split in amongst people who disagree with different points of view. I'm a millennial. There's millennials who are Republican, millennials who aren't. In your generation, it would be say the same thing. So in some sense, this is just the natural evolution of the American way of life. We don't all see the same issues the same way. That's what makes this country beautiful. And the beauty of our country is that we're able to exchange those ideas, to speak freely in the open without censorship, to go to a college campus and speak without fear of somebody putting a bullet in your neck. That's what it means to be American. And we live in this moment where we have to rediscover, embrace, and cherish that shared American national identity. Especially those young people. What are they hungry for? It's a renewal of American purpose. I think we live in a moment in our history, John, where we would do well to have a shared national mission, a shared national purpose, that even as we disagree on these local or terrestrial issues, there's bigger things to accomplish. And I think that we live in one of those moments where, in my last conversation with Charlie Kirk, this is actually what we talked about. When he was here in Ohio, he said, what is the 21st century about? What happens after we make America great again? It's on to American victory. And that's what we want for the 21st century. That's what Charlie wanted. And that's the spirit we want to see infused in Gen Z, certainly for the conservatives, but frankly, even those who might vote differently. That's the spirit we want to bring back.
Well, it certainly is a lovely idea, but unfortunately, it would appear that the political divides are growing even deeper in this country. I want to get your thoughts on this, Vivek, if I could. Breaking news that we had this morning, the former Democratic House Speaker in California, Congresswoman Nancy Pelosi, announced that at the age of 85, she is not going to seek re-election. She served nearly 40 years in Congress. Listen to her announcement here.
For decades, I've cherished the privilege of representing our magnificent city in the United States Congress. It was the faith that you had placed in me and the latitude that you have given me that enabled me to shatter the marble ceiling and be the first woman Speaker of the House, whose voice would certainly be heard. It was an historic moment for our country, and it was momentous for our community.
And, of course, no love lost between Pelosi and President Trump, bitter rivals for years now. President Trump gave Fox this statement earlier today. The retirement of Nancy Pelosi is a great thing for America, he said. She was evil, corrupt, and only focused on bad things for our country. She was rapidly losing control of her party, and it was never coming back. I am very honored she impeached me twice and failed miserably twice. Nancy Pelosi is a highly overrated politician. Over the weekend, the former speaker with some brutal words of her own. Listen to this.
How can I say this? It'll sound like I'm awful about Trump because he's just a vile creature. The worst thing on the face of the earth. But anyway.
You think he's the worst thing on the face of the earth?
I do, yeah. I do.
So what do you make of comments like that from the former speaker, particularly after the president survived 2 assassination attempts? The political violence that we saw against Charlie Kirk and others? I mean,
look,
a lot of people are saying,
in a world with Hamas,
why is she...
in a world with terrorists who are around the world. You have to think about vile people. Vile people exist on the planet. To say the president of the United States is, whatever she said, the worst person on earth, it's just unconscionable. It's unacceptable. It's not what we need more of in our politics. And it's Nancy Pelosi's retirement day. Apparently, I just learned that from you. I'm going to show some restraint and say we wish her well in her retirement. But this is a good way to turn the page on a chapter in American politics, moving past a gerontocracy that, at least if we're running against other people in the Democratic Party, let it be people with fresh ideas with whom we're able to have an open debate on the ideas rather than this type of, what is vile is actually that kind of vile dialogue. So I'd be happy for one to turn the page on that, John. Wish her well in her retirement, and we're looking forward to a newer generation of more constructive politics after her retirement. That's where we got to go.
All right. Vivek Ramaswamy, good to catch up with you. As I pointed out at the beginning, it's been a little while. Good to see you again.
Hey, everyone. I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.